Okay, good morning and welcome to Iyun Benzion. We're doing Daf Sadi Aleph in Kesubos number 91. The Mishnah on Daf Sadi Aleph talks about the basic idea of Kesubos being different. The standard case of Kesubos being different is a man is married to two wives, Chas v'Shalom, and his wives predeceased him. Now, one wife had a bigger Kesuba than the other wife, right? You can write it to have a Kesuba, you can give more money, the father can give more Nichse Malug, a bigger dowry. She has more property going in. She has a bigger Tosefes Ksuba. The Rabbanan were mistaking Ksubas meaning different. That when the husband, when both of his wives dies, he inherits our Ksuba. However, when the father dies, right, so his property is divided among the heirs evenly. However, the Ksuba, the Rabbanan said, even though Yerusha Daraisa dictates that it's divided evenly, said they're not. The Ksuba is not divided evenly. First, you apportion out the Ksuba, so the children of the mother, the bigger ksuba, get her entire ksuba. The children with the smaller ksuba get her entire ksuba. And then whatever's left over, they split evenly like a regular Yerusha. Now, if there's no extra money, there's only exactly the amount for both ksubas, or there's less than both ksubas, then we don't apply ksubas bin different. If there's a mosar dinar, if there's a surplus of land, according to Reb Shimon, according to the Rabbanim maybe in Metaltlin, worth a dinar, has worth a dinar, then you could apply ksubas bin different because you're not oker, because you're not removing the concept of the Yerusha Daraisa. Remember, Ksubas Nichnas is a Takana Derabanan. Really, Midaraisa, you split it evenly. So if they would, abrogate the Din Daraisa of Yerusha, they didn't want to do that Derabanan. So therefore, they ended Moser Dinar. Now the question is, why Moser Dinar? Right? Shava Pruta is Dinim Omnis usually. So either as long as there's Shava Pruta left over, or maybe you want to say there's two Shava Pruta, so each son or each group of sons get a Shava Pruta. Right, a dinar is worth more than two shava prutas. A dinar is worth, I think, dinars are worth 4 shkalim. It's worth a lot more. I don't know, maybe the 6 prutas. It's definitely more than 2 prutas in a dinar. I think a pruta is like 6 dinar. A dinar is like 6 prutas. So why do they say that? Shava pruta is always the value of money universally. So if Yerusha is dinim mamnis, why isn't that the way it works over here? I like to explain to answer this question that we've always heard of, Orach Chaim, Shulchan Aruch Yomi, Hilchos Shabbos, is it mutter, is it aser? That's, mutter and aser. Then there's something called dinim aminis, right? Which is a totally different branch of halacha. It's choshen mishpat, right? Totally different branch of halacha. Dinim aminis, in order to, right? When you come to Isra Beheter, you don't need such strong proof. Chazaka generally rely on a chazaka. When it comes to dinim mamnis, you have to bring a raya, a full-blown proof, in order to be motzi man from somebody else. Mamnis has certain chumras over things, and those are generally the two categories: isra v'heter, or mutter v'aser, and then there's dinim mamnis. So dinim mamnis, usually shava pruta, is called mamon. I like to suggest over here the way Yerusha works is not like the way we thought it works. Yerusha, the Gemara says a phrase called "Bana Kara Da'avua." The Gemara calls Yerusha. I think in Masechet Yevamos it says that the child is the leg of his father. What does that mean, leg of his father? You normally think Yerusha means when a parent dies, a father dies, his sons inherit him, meaning the money transfers. It's like if I sell something to somebody, right? I sell my pen to somebody, so he gives me money. I sell him the pen. The pen was in my rishus, it goes into his rishus, right? I have cryptocurrency, I have a Bitcoin, right? So it used to be under my name in the blockchain, now it's under somebody else's name in the blockchain. So it is transferred ownership. So we think it's like a transaction, right? Like if you're zochar and hefker, right? If something's hefker, you go to the garbage dump and you take an old stroller or something like that. So it's your stroller now, it belonged to nobody, now it belongs to you. But that's not the way Yerusha works. Yerusha doesn't mean it's like the father sold it or he gave it or gave him a ton, or gave a present to his son. Yerusha means that the son is like the leg of his father. He goes into the place of his father. Bimkom aviv. Bimkom aviv. He raises himself. It's not that it goes down to the son. It's that the son comes up and acts as his father when it comes to Yerusha. So there's no transfer of ownership. There's no transfer of ownership. What I like to call is a third type of din in the Torah type of halacha, and it's isra v'heter. Really, Yoredeya is called isra v'heter. What do you mean isra v'heter? I mean, mutter and aser. We always know Hilchos Shabbos, mutter and aser, right? Hilchos, there's a lot of halachas. Orach Chaim is full of halachas, mutter or aser. Is a mutter to do this? Is a mutter to eat before davening? Things like that, Isser v'heter, no, that's a different din. It's a din. I like to call it dinim of the goof, of the body. Dinim that apply to your body. Uh, for example, as a machlokes, the reading Mesechus Kedushin when you're a Makadish and Isha, right? Beisil says Shava Pruta, dinim mamnis, right? You're acquiring your wife, making a kinyan. Beishami says dinar. They say a dinar over there because a dinar is something which is important, is chashuv, and maybe Beishami has a different understanding of kedushin that we told ishto kegufo. We'll talk more about that in Mesechus Kedushin, but at least Bra Kara de Avua, he's the foot of his father. It's not the foot of his father, he's the body. He's an embodiment of his father. He takes over the goof of his father in a certain sense. And that's why the Yerusha belongs to him. So when it comes to being machnis yourself into someone else's goof or joining goofim together, a dinar is the amount. Dinar is the currency. A pruta is not valuable enough. A pruta is for dinei mamonis. Is there a heter? Things like that, things that are based on dinim of the goof. Is there a heter? You eat non-kosher food, it becomes like part of your body. We'll talk more about that in Shulchan Aruch when we get to Yoredei. I'll be a long way off. But the point is that when it comes to acquiring a body or a joining of another body to yourself, becoming someone else's part of someone else's body, a dinar, something more chashuv, something more significant, is needed because organs are worth a lot. A person's body is worth. That's the worst. The Gemara. It says by Kriya Shema, right? There are people that their life is more important, and there are people their money is more important. Obviously, usually your life should be more important than your money. So there is something called nafshecha, your goof, the goof, right? Something nefashos lahakel. There's so many dinim of nishmart ba'od nafshos seita. You don't go after rov, even rov, which is a raya by the imamness. You don't go after that when it comes to saving someone's life. Even for a miyut sheva miyut, you try to save someone's life. So the dinim of goof, of your body, of your life, as a Yerusha is. Yerusha is your mali makamav. You're standing in the place of your father. That's why it needs the moser dinar. And that also explains, I think, the Gemara, where the Gemara says, the Gemara has a question. The Gemara says, would Kesubos ben different apply? The Gemara says, pshita, if when he died, the value of the property had a moser dinar, then Kesubos ben different applies, right? Even though when they divvied up the land, the value of land went down, and there was only the amount in the Yerusha for two Kesubos ben different, and no moser dinar, it doesn't make a difference. The Yerusha d'oraisa happens. If Yerusha d'oraisa happened, Yerusha meant, it was a dinim mamnis, and I can understand, really Yerusha is when you give out the land. But if it's Yerusha means that the son becomes the place of his father, that happens right at Shas Misa. That's min d'oraisa, it works like that. The Gemara had a different shiloh. Let's say it wasn't worth Shas Misa. Shas Yerusha d'oraisa, it wasn't worth the amount. There's no moser dinar. And then when they come to divvy out the land, then do we say that that you have the moser dinar because now it's worth, the land went up in value, so it's worth the moser dinar. So, right, Rav Amram said, we don't apply. You go after Yerusha d'oraisa, and Rav Nachman seemed, the way I learned, and the way Tosa seems to learn, is that Rav Nachman seems to overturn Rav Amram's halacha and say no. Also, just kach moatim in Shabu zachem behen yarshin. The yarshin are yorisher because the whole concept of Kesubos ben different is a din d'Rabbanan over here. What were they adding on, right? If you go strictly after Yerusha d'oraisa and Muatim in Nisrabu, so therefore there's no there's no Moser dinar. But that's what they added on. Kesubos ben different is we don't just go after the goof, right? Shas Yerusha d'oraisa, there was no Moser dinar. We also go after Shas Chaluka, which is d'Rabbanan, which is dinim mamnis, and that's what Rav Nachman is adding over there. That Kesubos ben different is only takana d'Rabbanan. If it was just d'oraisa, fine. It's takana d'Rabbanan, so therefore you also go after. There are halachas that come that regarding to divvying up the land, divvying up the property. Shas Chaluka, Gemara calls it. So when you divvy up the property, Midrabbanan, they're masakin over there that you would still apply Kesubos ben different because again, it is d'Rabbanan, and you have you're not abrogating Yerusha d'oraisa because at the end of the day, Chaluka is part of the Yerusha d'oraisa. We'll have to explain more in Bava Basra how Chaluka is part of the Yerusha, but you're not abrogating completely Yerusha d'oraisa. I hope you enjoyed today's share. See you in the next one.